When people think about Afghanistan, many only think about war, bloodshed, and destruction. But what if I told you that Afghanistan was a home to many? This is the story of their lives, and how my family ended up where they are today.
Born in 1969 in Kabul, Afghanistan, and grew up in Kabul, Afghanistan till 1989. Then the whole family, we moved to Pakistan because the war was going on in that time.
In 1979, the Soviet Union invaded Afghanistan, beginning a brutal war that would last nearly 10 years. The Soviet army fought against Afghan resilient fighters known as the Mujahideen. Villages were destroyed, millions of civilians were displaced, and families were forced to flee their homes to survive. Everyday people were caught in the middle of the violence. During the war, millions of Afghans escaped in neighboring countries like Pakistan and Iran, hoping to find safety, just like my family.
So when the war started, they were taking my dad back to army so I can fight. But my dad doesn't want to do it because my dad was 35 years old. So what happened, we sold everything. My mom, my dad, and our brother and sister, we came to Pakistan.
Now, however, thousands of them have crossed into Pakistan to stay, not just because of the recent Russian invasion, but because of the war that was already underway between the government in Kabul and the rebels.
Soon after my mother's arrival in Pakistan, she moved to the United States in 1984. She arrived in California and began high school in Hayward as an 8th grader.
I stayed in Pakistan since 1989 all the way to 1995. In 1991, I got married.
My parents made me to get married. So I went back to Pakistan to marry.
At that time, my mother was not yet a U.S. citizen, so the process for my father to immigrate to America was difficult and took many years. Finally, in March of 1995, my father arrived in the United States as a citizen.
My main goal was to have a child.
My mom and dad went through many trials and tribulations having children, including my mom having 7 miscarriages and my dad and mom losing hope. Finally, after many years of trying, I was born in 2010. Shortly after, in 2011, my little sister was born. After my sister was born, in 2012, my dad was deployed to the U.S. Marine Corps. From 2012 to 2014, my mom took care of us while my dad served in the military. In 2014, my dad got discharged from the military because of an injury. And that's pretty much how we got to where we are today. I'm very happy that my parents got to escape Afghanistan when they did, although many of our relatives and family members still live there today. In August 2021, the Taliban regained control of Afghanistan, and since then, women and girls across the country have lost many of their basic human rights. Girls are banned from attending school beyond 6th grade, and women are no longer allowed to attend universities. Many women are banned from working jobs, traveling alone, or even speaking loudly in public. For many people around the world, these are just news headlines, something that won't affect them, ever. But for my family members still living in Afghanistan, this is an everyday reality for them.
And in 1 year of Taliban rule of Afghanistan, the economy has collapsed and the country has fallen into a desperate state of poverty. Women and girls have had their basic rights stripped away. CBS's Imtiaz Tayeb spoke to one woman who's taking action.
When armed Taliban intelligence officers started banging on her door, 25-year-old Tamana Paryani began filming, broadcasting to the world as she begged for help. We met the women's rights activists at a safe house.
The only weapon I had was my camera. I did it so that I could show the world what the Taliban are really like, what kind of group they are, and how they seek to forcefully silence women.
How long were you in prison for?
For about 1 month.
And how were you treated?
They treated me disgracefully. They tortured me, using cables, pipes, and whips.
Knowing where we come from helps shape who we are. My parents survived war, displacement, and uncertainty to create a better life for our family. Their story represents the experience of millions of Afghan families forced to leave their homes because of conflict. While my family was fortunate enough to escape, many Afghan women and girls are still fighting for freedom that others often take for granted. Telling these stories means remembering the past, honoring sacrifices, and refusing to forget the people that still suffer today. Thank you for listening to my family's story.